What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade coming to y'all with that hot topic analysis on Willie Green getting fired by the New Orleans Pelicans. This is a job where I wouldn't be mad or angry at losing because this team has been an absolute mess ever since Willie Green was there. Their best player, Zion Williamson, has never really been healthy. They was able to make the playoffs, and that's all you can really do because they never was really contenders. And they have had multiple guys out of the lineup on top of Zion, so he never really was able to see his roster healthy. If David Griffin got fired, it was only a matter of time before Willie Green got fired. Because if your roster can't stay healthy and you can't build the chemistry and your best players are always out, like last year, Herbert Jones goes down, Zion goes down, etc., etc., etc. DeJounte Murray is still down. What do you really expect Willie Green to be able to do when you're putting this roster together and it's never really there ever, like not even for 30 straight games? And when your best player is an all-star caliber player and one of the best players in the league and you never really have him available, what do you really expect the coach to be able to do? What do you really expect the coach to be able to accomplish, especially in the Western Conference? I don't really see much he could have had done. But they ended up starting the season 2-10. They also include 4 consecutive losses. Um, it makes sense that he gets fired because he's probably frustrated. The organization is probably frustrated. They already started going in a different direction with the organization making a lot of decisions. Like I said, getting rid of David Griffin. Green was obviously below 500 with his record with the New Orleans Pelicans, as it should be. Like I said, his best players was out. They did make 2 playoff appearances in 2022 and of course in 2024, which showed you if he had a healthy roster, he can, coach them up to being a successful team, which he never really had in general, which is unfortunate. And then that's the tough pill to swallow for this team, is knowing that you had potential, knowing that you had a good roster and a good team that you never was able to see fully live out what you thought that they can be. And I thought that that was a frustrating part about David Griffin. He was looking at it like, I'm trading, I'm getting the best guys I can get, I'm trying to build the best roster I can build. These people just can't stay on the court. And Willie Green has showed that he can make the plays and he can make the defense. He can do the encouragement. He can push this team, even though they're a really young group of guys. And it ended up working out, in 2 seasons. But it got to be frustrating, not just for Willie Green, but the organization, to see the stop and start, stop and start, stop and start, and continuing of going backwards to try to figure out what went wrong. What can we do to help this team take another leap? What can we do for this team to be better? And then you realize it doesn't really matter if the guys don't play and they're not going out there learning each other and bettering each other and learning how to play by experience. So it was just a situation that was just ugly. It was just good for Willie Green just to get out of there. He got paid. He made a good living off the money. He still got some money coming his way because his contract wasn't over. He deserved every single dollar that came with that contract because he had to put up with a headache of a team, which was his New Orleans Pelicans one. But I'll also say he did a good job. It wasn't great. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't mind blowing, but he did a good job for what he had and what he was working with. He made it pop. He made it work, and that's what a coach is supposed to do. And he transformed his team a little bit here and there for what he had. And I just say, if I'm Willie Green, I'm not mad at the job. I'm not ashamed at the job. I'm just looking at it like I'm also not mad that I lost it, because I look at it like, for what I got, I made the best of it. I made it work as much as I could. And that's all you can really do is just be all in with the group of guys that you have and try to make sure you're obeying what the GM and the organization, is putting out there in front of you, and just trying to get those guys to realize that my career just as important as y'all. My job is to make y'all job easier. My job is to make y'all do things at a high level and make sure y'all straight. That's all he could do. And it was just it had to been annoying in this situation. So he probably looking at it like, I can't wait to get in a different situation. I rolled out this situation because I was loyal. I wanted to see it through. I wanted to see what would, this become. Will we ever get it right? And he had some of these seasons where it looked like they was going in the right direction, or they wasn't too far of being a great team. It was already good, but it never became great because of the injuries. But you know, it is crazy seeing this happen. Even though we knew it was going to happen eventually, he just couldn't keep having mediocre to bad seasons and have one good one, then a mediocre to bad season to have one good one. It sucks, but James Borrego is going to be named the New Orleans Pelicans interim coach. I think he's going to be happy with that position. It gives him a chance to, do what he can do with it, but he's just going to have the same problems that Willie Green had, which is my best players are just not available, or they're just too young to a point where they're not going to really give us winning enough to win with. Of course, I can't use that as an excuse. Of course, I can't use that as a reason why things are not getting done or things are not getting handled. But this is a league where you do need talent to be able to win. If you don't have talent, even if you're a good X and O's coaches, even if you're a good tactician, or even if you're a good person at making a game plan and a strategy, if you don't have guys that can execute it, if you don't have guys that can rise above whatever is needed, you're going to be losing games anyway. Even Greg Popovich, when Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and those guys got injured, or they was at the end of the day retired, they were struggling to win games these last couple of years. They just now start winning this year, and we still have to see if they're going to make the playoffs. You still need superstars. You still need good role players. You still need to find a way to have whatever the other coaches have to try to even out that field. Then it's about who's the better coach and who has the guys ready to go and who makes their guys better. And I felt like Willie Green was doing those things, and it just didn't really materialize into much every season because of the injuries. But this team is very young. We want to see how they're going to build this roster. Obviously, Joe Dumars wanting to put his own mark on this roster and start getting the guys he want in there. He's going to want to draft his own guys like he did this year. He's going to want to build the roster the way he feel like it should be built. And we're going to see who he's going to pick as the head coach in the organization for the rest of these next couple years. And they have a chance to really try to change the culture, change the environment, change the players. And now they get a chance to make this thing go the way that they want it to go in a certain instance. But at the same time, it's going to take a couple years for this team to rebound. It's going to take a couple years for this team to understand what they need and what they're trying to get and how they're trying to play and how they're trying to build this team and who they're going to build this team around. Some people are saying trade Zion Williamson. Some people are saying, well, keep him. He's one of the best players in the league. Plus, is you really going to get a good package enough to get rid of him or make you want to get rid of him? That's going to be tough because of his contract and the fact that he's not one of the craziest paid stars in the league because of his ability not to make all NBA teams because he missed a lot of games, and also not really being a perennial all-star. So if they do want to go in a different direction with Zion, he's going to give you something decent, but not where it's going to be better than him. But if you do keep losing like you're doing this season, you're going to get a top pick anyway, and then you can just build around that guy and use the assets you get from Zion to put another player with that guy, and then you can just go in a totally different direction with the franchise and maybe that can breathe a breath of fresh air into this stagnant and malpracticed franchise right now. And they have had bad luck. They have been in a bad situation for years, and now they're trying to turn things around and breathe hope into this team, and this organization is feeling like they have to really make some drastic decisions and clean house with people that they don't feel is bringing winning ways to this franchise. Even though some of these things are out of these guys' control, and some of these guys are trying to do what's best with what they have, you still need the results. And the results is they suck. The results is they're one of the worst franchises in NBA history. And the results are, what can we do to turn this organization around? And that's what we're going to start looking at. And that's what we're going to start trying to do. Even if it means getting rid of guys that have proven and shown some things that we like, we need them to do it more consistently and hold them accountable and hold them responsible for the decisions and the things that they do. And I would say, well, that'd be true, and that'd be something that I would want to see. But things also got to play out your way, and things can also play out to be a negative. And that's the situation that everybody's going to be in. That's a situation that everybody can't really avoid. Sports can be unpredictable, and sports can be, depressing, and sports can be uncontrollable in certain instances, like injuries. And you just have to deal with, this is what we are, this is what we have, this is what we're going to be, this is what we're going to try to do. And if we can't really see it out, who fault really is it? That's what they're trying to figure out. That's what they're trying to put their finger on. And then you realize it's a tough problem to solve. But at least they're trying to, own up to it. And at least they're trying to make changes that they feel is necessary to get them the results that they want. And trading Zion might be a big one, but it actually might make the most sense. And we'll see if they do it this year. Or we'll see if they hold on to him for a better offer in the off season, or we'll see if they continue to keep him because they can't find nothing better. So they're going to keep the best star that they can, especially because people want to watch him, people want to see him, and he is one of the better players in the league, and he still is very, very young. So that still makes sense to a certain extent to keep him too. But other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell to get the analysis when it first come out. I also do conversation videos just like this about various NBA only topics. I also do breakdown with real footage of legends, current legends, rookies, and also future stars. I also do mock draft and draft coverage too. And on top of that, I also have over 4,000 plus videos already on my channel that you can watch and enjoy when it comes to NBA content and basketball content in general. Plus, I try to upload videos every day and throughout the day to give y'all something to watch and look forward to on a daily basis. And that's something that makes this channel have a lot of value, because you get a lot of different things that you can see, a lot of different conversations, and a lot of different content that you can enjoy. And it's all for free on top of that. Other than that, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all for appreciating content for what it is, and continuing to come back and supporting and showing love and showing respect for my analysis and what I think and what I want to show about this beautiful game of basketball that we share a common interest in. Other than that, y'all stay blessed up. Y'all stay good. I'm gone for now. Peace. And I'll see y'all back later today with more analysis.